All right, welcome back, guys. Mark here from Home Slots. I am a slot technician. I service, sell, and restore slot machines. And I happen to have a lot of these at my house that I play for a little while, and then I sell when I kind of get bored of them. But anyway, we got a new one back in. I did have this one previously on my channel, but I was able to get the other one. It did have a twin, and it's directly from New York Casino in Las Vegas. So I'm very excited to own this one again. Probably won't sell this one this time. Learned my lesson. Anyway, it is currently set up at quarters. I want to change it to $1, and we're also going to install the ticket in, ticket out module inside of here. So let's go ahead and get started. I figured I'd film the process. I've done this a lot on the channel, but you know, since I'm doing the work anyway, might as well film it so you guys can enjoy it. Anyway, let's take a deep dive into here and let's get everything set up. Dollar denomination. All right, let's get started. All right, so as always, we want to open the machine and power off. So we're going to do that. And we need to take the CPU box out. In order to do that, we got to remove this tray down here. Let me get this slower so you guys can see. So we're going to remove this tray like that and just pull the board out. Okay, and let me set this on the chair over here, and then I will turn the camera so you guys can see what's going on. All right. So what we need to do right here is do the clear chip, because we have to change the denomination and payback percentages. And in order to do that on these older machines, you have to go through this process. So, all right, so here is the game chip here. This is the one we need to remove. If you have a chip puller, I recommend using that. I have this really long flathead screwdriver, which I've used for years. And so once you kind of get the hang of that, you can use that. So let me get the clear chip, put that in. Again, look for the notch in the board. There will be a cutout in the board, and you want to match the notch on the chip itself. Make sure, because there is a pin 1 alignment here, and that's the way you can tell. And then be very careful putting these in. Do not apply pressure down on the chip until you look to make sure that all of the pins are aligned and inside the socket, and then put some pressure down. If you do the pressure without checking first, you'll bend the pins, and you only get about one shot to bend those back, so be very careful. All right, so we're going to put the board back in the machine. Just a second, I'll move the camera. Okay, so pushing the board in, and we will turn power on, and what we are looking for will be 2 amber lights to show up on here. Okay, there's the first one. And there's the second one. Okay, we'll power off. We're going to take the board back out and put it back on the my workbench here, which is the chair. One of these days I'll be able to afford a proper shop and get a bench and everything to work on. All right, so we're going to remove the clear chip and put the key chip in. And what the key chip allows us to do is to actually do the settings. Without the key chip, it's not going to allow you to change denomination and such. So again, look for that notch, line it up. And for your information, the clear chip I'm using is a 224. I don't know if you can see that. 224, and then the key chip I think is a 45. Yeah, it's a 45. Many different types of key chips. Most will work, but I've always bought the 224 and the 45s, and those seem to do it for just about everyone that I deal with, at least when it comes to the S2000. Except for the RB boards. They're RB boards. They require special chips and special boards, actually. Those are like your Red Hottie, Triple Top Dollar, etc. All right, so we're going to put the board back in and power on, and 2 amber lights will come up almost immediately. There they are. Power off again. And back to the chair. And now we will put the original game chip back in. All right. Okay, so that's in. So we will put it back in the machine. This will be the last time. But before we power on, we're going to do a couple more things here. So the first thing we need to do is install the ticket in, ticket out. And you can probably hear my dog screaming in the background. I had to lock him out to do this video. All right, so we're going to plug it in. It's just a USB plug. And then this goes to the back here. There's only one spot it can go. And I don't have any light back here. Unfortunately, with Apple phones, you cannot turn the flash on while you're recording. You have to stop it and start it again. So I'm trying to avoid that. I don't have a light or a flashlight. Ah, that hurt. Shit. Oop, sorry for the language. All right. All right, let's try that again. Oh, and that bent the pins here, so this is going to be fun. Just bending the pins back. I can use this little thing to try to align them. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to have to plug the speaker back in because that got rattled loose. All right, so the other thing, this is what happens sometimes, guys. All right, sorry guys, it stopped recording. I guess when I moved the camera back, I must have accidentally bumped it. Anyway, what we're doing is trying to get the sticker out of here. And what I did is there was a metal plate. Let me get that right quick. That goes in here like this. It's held on by 2 screws, so I removed those 2 screws, and then there was a 3rd screw over here that I removed. So this metal plate comes off, and then now we can lift this back and get at that sticker. So just let that hang loose there for a second. Then let's take that one off and put the dollar one on. And let me make sure it's not slanted because I'm kind of an OCD when it comes to that kind of stuff. All right, that looks pretty good there. Okay. So we'll put this back in here, and then I will put first screw on the right in. Okay. And get this metal bracket. Okay. And you want to get this pretty much all the way screwed in because otherwise the reels will hit this plastic thing. And then you'll have reel tilts. So make sure this is all the way screwed in. This one I can't seem to catch it. Dropped it. Let me pause the video real quick so I can turn the flash on. All right, much better. A lot easier to see here. I should have done that initially. All right, so it's a little bit off, so let me loosen this one here. Slide it down a little bit. I don't feel it catching. There we go. Much easier with the flash on. I don't know why Apple doesn't let you turn it on while you're in the middle of recording. Every Android phone I ever owned allowed you to do that. So we're good to go there. All right, and last thing is I need to hook the bass subwoofer speaker back up because it just got unplugged here. So this is pretty straightforward. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to break this off because I don't need it. If I can break it. Okay, I just don't need it. I'm not converting this back to coins. So anyway, there's two little thingamabobbers here. I don't know the real name for them. I'm sure there is. And actually, I think this is positive because there's a little red dot over here, so I need to reverse this. This is like standard speaker wire, so if you end up not doing the right polarity, you just swap them. It's no big deal. All right, so it's not going to blow anything up. All right, that should be good. All right, then we will put this back in. All right, and we are ready to turn the machine back on, and I'm going to turn the flash off for this because it's a lot easier to see. So 1 second. All right, that'll be a little bit better. So we will be enabling the ticket printer because it was disabled before, so I'm going to put some paper in, some ticket paper. And if you do order this ticket paper, ignore this where it says feed this side in. It's not always correct because it really depends on which way your ticket printer is facing. But this one is actually facing the correct way, so we'll just slide this in. And once the machine has power, we'll feed it in there. So I think we're all set to turn it on. So let's go ahead and turn on the machine. Let's feed that in. Now every ticket printer is different, so yours may not look like this. All right, so that's all set to go. And just close the door slightly, but don't close it all the way because we need to go through the setup process. You're going to hear some loud noises here in a second, and we need to clear the RAM. And you do that by turning the jackpot reset key 4 times, about half a second or so apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's going to tell you to press the test switch. So open the door, and the test switch is this little white plastic button. Sorry, let me get it to focus here. Come on, focus. All right, it's a white plastic button here, so hold it in for about 3 seconds. And then it's going to tell you to close the main door. So let's do that. And wait a little bit, and then it's going to say call attendant, and you'll need to open the door and turn the jackpot reset key 3 times. And just a pro tip, if you are a slot technician and you do this often and want to save some time, remove the multimedia SIM card from your machine. It will speed up this process greatly. And then just put the SIM card back in after you're all done. It'll save a ton of time. Okay, so we're going to hear the loud noise again, and then open the door and turn jackpot reset key 3 times. And don't worry so much about what it's warning you about. It sounds pretty bad, but it's just normal. RAM error, Are you sure you want to clear all this? That kind of stuff. It's perfectly normal. And what this process is basically doing is resetting everything all the way back to square one, meaning that there's no accounting record. It's all zeroed out. You get to start fresh. And this is the process on these older machines that somebody would have to go through to change denomination or payback percentage or any of that kind of stuff. Enable the printer. And it's going to spin the reels to point. This is like the first position basically, and then it's going to take us into Keychip Config. And let me get the camera kind of zoomed in on that so you can kind of see. So focus, there we go. So this is like your enter key, and this is like left and right mouse click. So we're going to go into Keychip Config. We're going to go into this one, denomination, accounting denomination. We are going to set to a penny. That is not the denomination of the actual gameplay. This is just the accounting record denomination. And why this is important is this allows you to put in basically a ticket that has any kind of value on it, and it will still accept it. I don't know if you've ever seen machines where you put in a ticket and then it spits out like 45 cents or something that you had left over. That's because they don't have the accounting record set to a penny. So I always set it to a penny so it doesn't reject tickets. And let's do that. Okay, and then I'm pushing this over here. This is like the save, basically. All right, then we're going to go to coin denomination, and again, this is also a penny. Save, save, and then we're going to go to player denomination. Now this is where we will set it to $1 so that we match this. Okay, so those are the three that you do there. Then we go to game selection, and this is where we set the game percentage. So this one has a bunch in there. Looks like it has 4. So 96.45 is the highest, and it goes down to 89.96. Oh, it goes even lower, 87.96. But we're at home, so we're going to set it to the highest. All right. Bonus menu. This is for the ticket in, ticket out. So you need to go to 7135. Press enter, and then change this to legacy, and then save, which is the play max credits. And then play 3 or play max credits to back out. Go to machine type and change this to upright, that max. And that is all for 7.1. So we need to go up 1, go over to Keychip Config 2. Validation, this is again for the ticket in, ticket out. Validation type needs to go to system. Nothing else needs to change in there, so back up 1. Go to printer, and we need to enable because by default it's not enabled. Okay, back out. Go to voucher, voucher redemption SAS. Back out. Voucher limit follows credit limit. And change voucher we don't need to worry about. So back up 1. Go to coinless mode, and I always enable this. It's not necessary, but this just, instead of saying insert coins, it'll say insert bills. That's the only thing that really makes a difference. So save that, and then that is all for the Keychip config. So press the bet max button a bunch of times until you see the reels move. Close the door. Make sure it comes up without any errors. It does, but we need to continue to change some things. So open the door, and then press the test switch button. You can just press it once. You don't need to hold it in this time. Okay. Now we need to go over to options and machine options. And we need to go to limits. And we need to go to credit limit. I always max this out at $100,000 just so I don't have to worry about that at home. Jackpot limit. So this is where you can say when it locks up. So the default is 1,000. So we're going to change this to $11.99, and what that means is if anything is over $11.99, it'll lock up. So that's how they have it in casinos right now. So I kind of like to keep it the same. And then we go over to bill limit. This will be max 3,000 depending on the kind of chips that you have, the game chips that you have installed. So back out. I think that's all we need to do for machine options. So back up one, sound options, volume control, game volume. I set this to about 3. And then money volume, this is how loud it is when you put money or ticket in. So I set that to the same. Back out. And we'll back up again. Bill acceptor, nothing you need to do there. Okay, communication options. So this is what you need to do for the ticket in, ticket out. You need to go to Bally Miser Setup. You need to go to Miser Channel. And you need to change this to off. Save, back up one. Go over to WAM Setup. You may not have this one in yours. If not, no worries. You can just skip this step. Same thing, go to Channel. Change this to off. Back up, go to SAS setup, SAS primary, go over one, channel, and change this to 3. Back out, go to SAS config, this is at 3413, and then press the service switch until you go through all of them, and you are done. You can press back a bunch of times, wait for the machine to spin, close the door. And let me find a ticket that I can put in there. And we are good to go. And we're all set to go. All right, guys, so that's how you get a machine all set up with a different denomination, different payback percentage, and installing the ticket in, ticket out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do some gameplay video. I have done it in the past on this one if you're curious. But if you do want me to play this game, just let me know in the comments below, and I will certainly do that for you guys. It's a fun game. It's another game by Barcrest, same makers as Top Dollar, and this is a classic. So anyway, guys, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff, and a subscription if you love it, because I do this kind of stuff all the time. I like doing kind of the technical overview and technical repairs and stuff like that. And when I get machines in that I sell to customers, I walk through and tell you everything that I do to get it all prepared for the customer, because they like to see it on video too. So anyway, guys, thanks again for your time, and we will see you on the next video.